Hey everybody, happy January, happy New Year even. God, wow, it's gone quickly. Hope you're all doing well. My name is Emma if I haven't met you before, and we're going to do a lovely little 45-minute full body yoga session, flow, chill, whatever you fancy basically. Before we start, if you do have a strap or just like a dressing gown strap or a belt or anything that you can kind of lean onto and almost tug a little bit as if you're going to have it around your toes and draw them towards you. That would be really handy. Also, if you have a block, if you don't have a block, maybe a firm cushion or two, not too firm, but something that will support you if you need to sit on it, for example. And maybe some water, a blanket if it's a bit chilly. So just, yeah, find anything that you might need and we will get going when you're ready. Pop your music on and let's begin, my lovelies. So, when you are ready, bringing yourself onto your backs. We're going to start on our backs just for a few moments, lying down, find a comfy position. You don't have to have your arms and legs out straight. You can absolutely just have your knees bent. Maybe your arms are out by your sides, maybe they're up behind your head. It's totally up to you. And we're just going to start to settle in here. And this is, if you're a bit chilly, maybe you want your blanket here for our first few moments. Closing your eyes. Just starting to kind of be a bit heavier on the mat, really. Give yourself a few minutes to settle in. There's no tension. Maybe notice how you're doing. You might have a few tight spots you want to stretch into. We're going to cover all of that today. I'm beginning now to take a few deeper breaths. So really feeling like your ribs and your chest, having a big breath in, big expansion. As you breathe out, everything starts to soften back down. So we're just taking our time to breathe a little deeper. And sometimes while we're lying on our backs, it's quite nice just to give ourselves a moment to take a bit of a scan. So scanning through the body, trying to notice any places that maybe feel a bit more tense than usual. Maybe you didn't even realize until now, but your shoulders actually feel a little bit drawn up towards your ears, or your forehead is kind of crinkled. Maybe it's down towards your lower legs, your ankles, your toes. Just start to let everything relax. And it doesn't matter if it still feels tight right now, because as I said, we're going to work through full body. But by noticing it now, we may be able to just stretch that a little bit further later and have a bit more intention with the postures that we do. Before we start to move today, let's just take a few deep breaths together. So we're going to do some 4x4 breathing. And all that means is that we've got a bit more of a rhythm, a kind of steady rhythm, I should say, to our breath. And at any time, obviously, if you just want to take a deep breath in and settle down, feel free. We're all going to start on our next breath in, breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1, then holding here, pausing for 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out now for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. 4 more times of those. Deep breath in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next round, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold at the top, that big breath in, 3, 2, 1. Breathing out, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pausing, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time together, breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, starting to bring yourself back to your normal pace. Still trying to breathe a little bit deeper, but not holding ourselves to any particular counts right now. Just let your body take a moment. And at any point today, in the next 45 minutes, or at any time in your own days and your own training, maybe when things just get a bit much and you need a moment to regather, reconnect, you can absolutely do that. Breathe that deep breath. It's a nice, easy tool to bring us back, just to steady our thoughts sometimes. Okay, let's get to moving. Both knees coming in towards us, wrapping our arms around our shins, drawing yourself close. Maybe your forehead tucking up towards your knees as well. Big squeeze in, big hug. And we're just going to let both knees drop over towards this right side. If you don't have too much space on the right side, try and shuffle yourself a little bit, because we're also going to reach both of our arms out to the right as well. So our shoulders are kind of in line with our hips. Our knees are on top of each other, our hands are on top of each other as well. You just let your head rest down. If you want to pop a cushion underneath your head here, feel free. Taking a deep breath here. Exhale slow. Now let's start to open up through the upper body, starting to glide your left arm all the way up and back. Big semicircle behind you. So we're rotating the upper body, but that lower body staying still. And then slowly bringing your left hand all the way back, fingertips or hand on top of the right. 3 more times, slowly semicircle all the way back and open. Big stretch, reaching our hand as far away as we can. And release, coming forwards. Maybe get some clicks and clunks through the back. 2 more, taking your hand all the way back. Reaching, big semicircle. And release, hand coming forwards. Last one, taking the arm all the way back behind you. Maybe you feel like you've got a bit more space in the shoulder across the chest now. And release, hands coming all the way back together. Bringing yourself back onto your backs, knees drawing in. Maybe shuffle yourself on your mat if you did before. Squeezing the legs towards you. And then we'll go the other side. So knees over to our left side this time. Again, if you need to shuffle slightly, if you're like me and have a bit of a wall next to you. Our knees, remember, on top of each other, hips and shoulders in line. And our arms stretched out. So our left hand is on the bottom this time, right hand on top. Head rested maybe on a pillow. Slowly taking your right arm up and back. Big semicircle round. Stretch your fingertips away. And release, coming all the way back. Taking the arm all the way up and over. Semicircle as you open the chest. Rotate through the upper body. And release, hand coming back towards the left side. 2 more, bringing this right arm all the way up and over, gliding your fingertips across. And come back. Last time, bringing the right arm up and back. Take that big semicircle, even more room than you had before. And release. Hands stacking back on top of each other. Shifting yourself back onto your mat if you need, like me. And then bringing your knees in one more time, big squeeze, hugging yourself up towards the legs, nice and tight. Maybe taking some rocks here, some wiggles, if you feel good doing those. We're going to take our hands back behind our knees, starting to rock forwards and backwards, coming up to seated, so legs crossed at the front. Doesn't matter which way round they're crossed right now. You guys stay as you are. I'm just going to turn towards you. Fingertips coming down in front, taking a deep breath in, lift the chest. Exhale, start to fold forwards. We're going to do 2 more little ripples like this. So breathing in as you lift the chest, take the shoulders back. Exhale, fold. 1 more, coming all the way up. Big breath in. And breathe out, slowly bringing yourself down. Good. Start to lift yourself back to the top. We'll switch our legs over now, so that front foot's coming back behind. And then same movement here, so our fingertips down in front. They don't have to be all the way stretched out in front of you, just fairly close to the knees is fine. We're really looking for that length through the back. So deep breath in as you roll the shoulders back, lift your chest. Exhale, bending your elbows, sinking forwards and down. 2 more, breathing in. Exhale, lower. 1 more, big breath in. And out. Okay, back up to seated. So taking one hand over to the opposite knee, we might all have different cross legs, so I won't dictate which one to you. And then the opposite hand behind you, so we're twisting over to the side. Turning through the chest, really press into your fingertips at the back. Turn through the chest, gaze over that back shoulder. Again, you might get some clicks and clunks, lucky you if you do. You just got the extra space to move into. Slowly coming back through the middle and switching over. So opposite hand to the knee, fingers behind us, turn to the side, really using our deep breath in here to get a bit more room. And then as we breathe out, maybe settling, easing, softening into that space. Gently bringing yourself back through to the middle, hands down in front now as we lift up onto all fours. So your wrists underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, toes can be tucked or untucked depending on how comfy that is for you right now. Moving through our cat-cow, start to lower the tummy down. Big roll of your shoulders lifting through your chest, gaze forwards. Opposite direction, big curl rounding through your back. Pressing your mat away, lifting, lifting, lifting through those shoulder blades at the back. Breathing in, coming back to the front, into this cow pose, really open through the chest. Exhale, start to round, space across those shoulders. 2 more as you breathe in, coming forwards. As you breathe out, rolling up and back. Last time, breathing in, come forwards. Breathing out to come back. Closing your eyes here, just starting to rock side to side. Taking a few little movements, stretch into the waist, through your hips. And then with your eyes still closed, start to maybe make some figure of eights, some circles. Rounding through your back, maybe kind of move through those cat-cows, then a bit more of a fluid way, so you're moving in any direction. I like to call this bit a bit of a freestyle. So we're just finding those sweet spots to stretch into, giving our shoulders some movement time, easing into the back, the hips, the waist, even putting some more weight through those wrists as well to get them a bit more warmed up. Good. Okay, when you're ready, coming back through to still, back to our neutral position in all fours. We're going to tuck our toes from here. Oh no, we're not going to tuck our toes from here actually. We're going to start to step this right foot back behind us and just stretch into those right heels first before we do anything else. So feel free to kind of rock here if that kind of solid static stretch is not helping you. Maybe you want to move back and forth. Maybe you want to take some circles as well, over the toes, giving your ankles some more room. Have a little bit of a play around. There's no perfect way to stretch, remember, it's just what feels good in your body right now. Okay, bring that right knee back. Same on the left side. Press your left heel away. And we can really press into the hands to get that strong stretch down through the calf, through the Achilles, into our ankles. And if you wish, that back and forth motion. Okay, bringing your left knee even back down. Now we're tucking our toes, pressing into the hands, starting to lift up into a downward dog. So just an upside down V shape. Legs do not have to be straight. In fact, we're going to pedal them out right now. So just walking, or feeling like we're walking through the feet. As always, really easing in to your bodies. Listen to your bodies. Do what works for you right now. If you want to stay still, stay still. If you want to move even more, move even more. Now, we really want you to think about anchoring through your fingers. Your shoulders are kind of wrapping around the chest, and our fingers really solid at the front, pressing into our mats. We're just giving ourselves these few moments to ease into the back of the legs, to find some length through the spine. Coming to still now. We're going to lift our right leg off the mat. Doesn't matter if this left heel is still lifted, that's okay. I just want you to cross in front of the left leg. So just like we're crossing our legs as we sit down. That right leg crossed in front of the left knee. And really send your hips up and back. So from here, we should feel a deeper stretch down the back of our left legs. As you breathe here, maybe you can find more room, maybe you can ease in. Might be a little bit tingly, that's okay. Start to bring your right leg back, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Feel free to shake your left leg off first. When you're ready, lifting your toes off the mat, crossing your left knee over the right, hips shifting as high as we can. Those hands still anchored down at the front. And release. Left foot back down to our mats. Have another little pedal out. When you're ready, sending your right foot up and back. Doesn't matter how high it goes, stretching those toes away. Slow, steady, reaching your right foot forwards, planting it outside your right hand. And just thinking here about some length. So lifting that left knee up still, so it's not gone down onto the mat yet. We're keeping the length through the spine, so really opening up through the front of the body. Slowly start to bring this left knee down now, toes untuck. As you breathe in, lifting up onto your fingertips. Exhale, lower. 2 more, breathing in. And breathing out. Last time, breathing in, roll the shoulders, lift your chest. Slowly lowering back down. Your left hand now anchored onto your mat. Right arm is going to lift as we turn up to the side. And then taking our right arm back behind us. So those hips feeling a stretch. Twisting through the upper body again. Send your right arm out long. Remember that length we just had. Try and bring it back. Even though this left hand and left knee is on the mat. We're reaching the right fingertips long. Take the arm all the way up and back. Open, open, open. Bring it back to the front. Last time, reaching the right fingertips back behind you. Open the chest. And then all the way up to the front. Bringing your right hand back down. Now from here, moving into a side plank, but don't worry, it's not going to be too difficult. We're going to step our right foot all the way back behind us, starting to rest on the inside of that right foot, keeping this left knee down and turning your ankle behind you, so that right knee and right ankle are about a 90-degree position. Starting here to reach with your right fingers, getting a nice stretch across the right side of the waist. Our gaze is up towards those right hands. We're not doing it too intensely. We're still squeezing through the glutes, holding ourselves up. Well done. Bring yourselves down. Right hand onto your mat. Right knee coming down. Left knee follows. And then tucking our toes to bring ourselves back up into our downward dog. Lifting our hips high. Straight over to the other side. Your left leg reaching up and back. Bringing your foot forwards, wiggling it further if you need. So left foot to the outside of the left hand, starting out with that length. So from your right heel all the way up to your head. We've got this length down the body. Well done. Bringing your right knee down, toes untucked, going for our lifts and lowers in this lizard pose. Deep breath in, roll the shoulders back, open the chest. Exhale, fold. Doesn't matter how low we go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. We're just, again, trying to feel a stretch for us. Where are we working into ourselves? Last time, breathing in and breathing out. Right hand down onto our mats as we lift up through this left arm all the way to the top. Reach the fingertips. Slowly send the hand back behind us. Open through the chest. Reaching forwards now, coming back to that length we had a moment ago. Fingertips all the way ahead. And then reach back. 2 more. Bring the hand forward. Stretching into our fingers. Hand back. Last time, bringing the arm forward. All this length down the spine. And release. Left hand onto our mats. Moving back into that side plank is what I'm trying to say. Your left foot stepping back behind you. Right knee and ankle at the 90-degree position. Left arm reaching. So we're still squeezing the glutes here. It's still fairly active, but it's not too intense on that core strength. And we're aiming to feel a stretch down the left side of us. So all the way through from your shoulder, waist, hips. Start to bring your left hand down. Left knee comes down as well, toes tucking as we lift ourselves up into a downward dog. Again, wiggle out. Maybe you need to shake your wrists and your shoulders now. Maybe your head. From here, we're going to move into a few sun salutations or adjustments or variations, I should say, of them. So we're starting by walking our toes up towards the hands, little tiny steps if you need. Feet coming to about shoulder width apart. Deep breath in as we roll the shoulders, lifting your fingertips towards your shins. Exhale, folding forwards, leaning down, finding some length through the back of our legs. Breathing in now as we lift all the way up to the top, slight bend in our knees, hands meeting together, down towards your chest. Exhale. Inhale, sweep the arms back to the top. Exhale, big swan dive down, hands coming around the outside, fingers onto our mats. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, fold back down, right leg stepping back into a high plank, left leg follows. Knees coming down towards our mat, toes untucked, chest to the ground. Sending your hands slightly further in front of you, so maybe at the top corners of your mat, depending on where you are right now. Pressing into those hands, hips staying down on the ground as we lift through the chest, so into a bit of a seal pose here. Nice big stretch through the front of the body. And then we'll release, come back down, hands coming underneath your shoulders, toes tucking behind you, back through a child's pose, lifting up into our downward dog. Repeating that a couple more times, so little steps forwards, making your way up to the front of the mat. Small bend in your knees if you need. Deep breath in, roll the shoulders, lift your chest. Exhale, folding down. This time all the way to the top as you roll up through the spine, breathing in. Hands coming to the top, meeting. Exhale, down to your chest. Inhale, sweep them up. Exhale, swan dive down. Fingers onto your mat, breathing in, lifting halfway. Exhale, lower. Left leg steps back first. Right leg follows into our high plank and then knees down. Toes untucked, chest to your mat. Hands again coming forwards toward those top corners of your mat. Roll the shoulders, lift your chest. And release, come back down, hands underneath your shoulders by your chest. Pressing back, lifting down dog. Walking your way forwards. Step into the front, breathing in, lift halfway. Exhale, length through the back of our legs. Inhale, sweep the arms up, curl or uncurling up to the top. Hands down to your chest as you breathe out. Inhale, sweep the arms up again. Exhale, lowering down. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, folding forwards. Fingertips staying down. This time your right foot stepping back, your left leg staying where it is. So moving up into a high lunge. So keeping that press back through this right heel. Sweeping the arms up. See if you can settle down into our legs, strong through those hips. And release, hands coming down. Stepping back with the left foot. Deep breath in. Exhale as you lower those knees, chest down. Maybe up into a cobra this time, or sticking with your seal. So if you're in your cobra, your hands are just that bit closer towards you. And release, come down. Rolling all the way up and back into your downward dog. We have one more, moving over to the other side. So walking forwards, toes meeting at the front. Big breath in, roll your shoulders. Exhale, we fold down. Big roll up as you breathe in. Unravel through the spine, lift the arms, fingers meet. Exhale, hands lower. Deep breath in, lift the arms up. Exhale, swan dive down, fingertips down towards our mats. One more halfway lift, breathing in and breathing out. Your right leg staying where it is this time, left foot stepping back into our high lunge, not our low lunge. Fingertips reaching all the way forwards as we press back into our left heel, lift through our chest. And come down, hands framing your right foot, stepping back into high plank. Lowering yourself through onto your mat, taking your cobra or that seal pose. And release. Toes tuck. Bringing yourself up and back. Downward facing dog. Wiggle out the legs, the shoulders. Maybe you've got some more space through the back of your legs now. Maybe you can send your hips a bit higher, your chest further through. You've got that lovely length down the spine. We're just going to start to walk our feet forwards again. And you guys can stay exactly where you are. I'm just going to turn to face you one more time. As you take a deep breath in, roll your shoulders, lift your chest. As you breathe out, fold. Keeping your left hand as it is, that left knee is going to have a nice big bend. It's almost like we're sending our hips over to the side. Right leg straightens, lifting your right arm up. So we should feel a nice stretch down those IT bands. Nice big tingly release. Sending your right hand back down, we'll switch over. Moving over to the left side, so shift that weight more into your right foot as your right knee bends. Left leg straightens, left arm lifts. And lower down. Wiggle out the legs. From here, you're going to face the long edge of your mat, so whichever way you can kind of still see your screen. And then we're going to open out those legs, so in a wide leg fold. So about two or three hip distances apart. As you breathe in, fingertips onto the ground, lift your chest. As you breathe out, start to fold forwards. One more of those, we'll breathe in, lifting up. Exhale, lower. I know we do so many of those halfway lifts, but they're so helpful to find a bit of length through the legs, through the back. Holding on to our left legs now. Big squeeze as we wrap our arms around our shins, our thighs, our knees. And slowly lifting your left arm up. So keep that connection, chest or tummy down towards your thigh. Bringing yourself all the way down and across the body over to the right side. We're going to hold, draw onto our right leg. Big squeeze in as we wrap our arms around this shin, knee, thigh. Slowly lifting your right arm up all the way to the top. Twisting the chest open, that big rotation through the upper body. And we'll come down. Hands down in front of us now. We're going to have flat hands. So on the palms of our hands, if you need to take a little bend in your knees to get there, or maybe you need to take the legs slightly further in, slightly further out, totally up to you. Keeping your left hand on the mat, again for our rotation. So we're lifting our right arm up It's almost like we're stacking our shoulders on top of each other, those right fingertips reaching high. And from here, start to bend through your left knee a little bit. So it's like we're shifting more weight over to this left side. And you should feel like we're getting a bit more of a stretch through those groins, maybe down the side of your right body. And we'll come down now. Your right hand replaces the left underneath you. So both legs are straight. Turning up to the left side, left fingertips all the way to the top. And then bending more into your right knee, stretching into the groin, reaching through the left side of the waist. And release, hands coming down. Shift your hips slightly side to side, have a wiggle. Maybe let your hands come off the mat and just hold on to opposite elbows, swaying. Fingertips coming down, heel toe those feet a little bit closer towards you, about hips or shoulder widths apart, toes pointing out to the sides. Here is where you may want your block or a cushion, so do grab it. In fact, we are going to want our block or a cushion, so definitely grab it. And we're going to come down into a squat, but resting our bottoms down on this block or on your cushion behind you. So normally we'd be in this squat and we'd be kind of pressing into those feet and lifting up a little bit more through the chest. I really just want us to kind of sit here, lift through your chest and stay nice and tall, but not worrying too much about this weight pressing into the ankles. So we're just a bit more passively opening up in this squat pose right now. We're going to bring our left hands down in front of the left knee as you sweep the right arm up. Switching over, right hand comes down or right fingertips, left arm reaches. One more time on each side with a little addition. So left hand down to your mat, right arm comes all the way up. And this time try and extend a little bit more by taking your right elbow, back behind you into a bit of a cactus position with your right hand. And release. Bring this right arm all the way back to the front. Switching over last time. Left side arm lifts up. Sending the elbow back. More room through the upper body. Twisting. And come down. Taking your block or your cushions out from underneath you. Walking our way back onto our mat. So hands coming out in front. Legs stepping back behind us. And then lowering onto the mat. Full body is down, just resting your head or your ears onto the ground. Be heavy here. Moving up into a Sphinx pose when we're ready. So you're going to start by gazing forward so our necks are in line. Hands coming in quite close towards us. Elbows, forearms tucking closely towards us as well. Pressing into your arms, lifting up through the chest, opening through the front of the body. Draw those shoulder blades back and down. So we're nice and tall through the chest. And then release. Hands coming underneath our shoulders now as we press ourselves back into a child's pose. Bottom towards your heels. Hands reaching forwards. And you can be kind of soft and just heavy in this posture, or you can reach up onto those fingertips, almost in tented hands. Maybe you want to take your knees out so they're kind of mat width apart, drawing your chest further down. It really depends how much space you have in your hips right now. And we will bring ourselves up, drawing ourselves towards seated, lifting tall, rolling your shoulders back, and then taking your legs out one side, all the way in front of you. We're going to start by stretching and just seeing how much room we can get into our legs and our lower back by a kind of gentle lean forward and then doing a few movements at each end of the body. So as you breathe in, lifting your fingertips up nice and tall. And as you breathe out, start to reach your hands forward, but just planting our fingertips down beside our legs. Keeping that lean forward, so we're really reaching through the chest, almost like same in our Sphinx pose where we're lifting. Kind of similar to that, so we're really not hunching forwards and crunching over at the top of the body. We've got all this wonderful space in front of us. Now I want you to think about pressing your chin up, so we've got space in the across the throat, and then pointing your toes, so we feel that stretch across the top of our feet. Now flex those toes back, so we're feeling a bit of a tingle down the back of the legs, pointing our heels away from us, holding here. Point your toes again, scrunching your mat up maybe like me, and flex the toes back towards you. 2 more, toes pointing away, stretch across the tops of our feet where we do our laces, and reach the foot back towards us, heel drawing us towards the front. You may get a little bit lower now, even here. Last time, pointing, and flex. Keeping those feet flexed, maybe not as active, so you can let them soften a little bit. We're going to do the same sort of motion with our heads now, so tucking our chin as close as we can get our chin to our chest, and then drawing your chin up back to where it just was, really reaching open through the throat. 2 more, reaching down, keeping our back lovely and long, and then reaching your chin forwards. Last time, bring that chin all the way in, and release. Now start to roll your way back up to seated, maybe a little shake out through your legs, maybe your shoulders. And what we've been doing is just kind of releasing through our sciatic nerve slightly, so it should be able to help us glide through our stretches a little bit more. And now is where we may want this strap, whatever you're going to use. So if you want to use your strap, just keep it next to you and you can pick it up in a moment. If you're not using it, same movement applies. So all of us going to reach up the fingertips nice and tall. Exhale as we send the fingertips forward. Now maybe you've got enough space to hold onto your toes with your hands. Maybe you're holding onto your ankles, your shins if you don't have a strap right now. Or if you do want to use that strap, as you lean forwards, wrap the strap around the toes or the feet and then drawing ourselves down. So more activation through the upper body here to help us, to aid us in this stretch. And again, we should be feeling it through the back and our legs. Breathing slow. As you breathe out, maybe you can go even deeper, even further. And let's come out of this one now. Start to roll your way up, releasing that strap. Pop it over to the side if you're using it. And shuffling ourselves onto our backs, lowering down. Your right knee coming in, give it a nice big squeeze. And we're going to pop the right ankle in front of the left thigh. So draw that left leg up as well. And then hands coming behind your left thigh to draw both knees in towards you. Thinking about extending out through your tailbones at the opposite end. And we're really trying to get a deep stretch into our glutes on this right side. Final little bit before we rest down. Those glutes definitely deserve a stretch. If you want to take it a bit further, feel free to wrap your hands around your left shin. That's going to allow you to draw in a bit closer towards you and intensify your stretch. Moving up and out of this one now as we switch over. So left ankle coming in front of your right thigh. Hands starting out behind this right thigh. Even if you moved onto the shin later, just start out the same place you started before. Drawing both legs in towards your chest. We're still staying fairly soft through the upper body. Maybe moving your hands onto your shin if you did before. and release. Letting both legs come down, just window wipe those knees side by side. And we are going to come into a lovely little resting Shavasana now. So if you do have any other stretches that you really want to do, or you really want to move into for a moment, just take those now. Maybe you want to grab your blanket or your pillow to pop over the top or just behind your head. And when you are ready, come into a comfy position. I know it's tempting just to kind of switch off now and go and do something else that you have to do to get on with your day. But trust me, just a minute lying down. Just give yourself this bit of time. Closing your eyes, breathing softly for a final few moments. Finding some movement now, wiggling through your toes, wrists, fingers, ankles. Maybe finding a full body stretch, taking your arms back behind you, toes pointing forwards. Feel your lift, lightness through your chest. When you're ready, hugging your knees in towards you, give yourself a very well-deserved cuddle, rocking side to side if that feels good. Maybe drawing your forehead up to meet your knees, curling up really tightly. Slowly bringing yourself up to a comfortable seated position, eyes still closed, or a soft gaze. Hands and legs and feet, however you want them to be. Give your shoulders a big roll, growing tall through the crown of your head. And just notice how you're doing right now, how you're feeling. Give yourself a huge, huge well done. A smile to finish up on your beautiful faces. Thank you very, very much, everybody. I hope you feel good. I hope that has released a little bit of tension from your muscles. And I hope you have a lovely few weeks of training before I see you again. Or come back to this one whenever you fancy. I'm always here. Any questions, as always, just message me on the chat. You know where I am. And have a lovely few days. Bye-bye.